Hey everybody, it's Michael Ortman. We're back at it again. Alright, I'm going to record this podcast while I'm driving home. Driving home from work, working on the local ambulance company. I work as a paramedic part-time still. Been doing paramedicine for last 9 years now. Used to work in Syracuse, New York, Oswego, New York. Uh, Now I work up close to where I live. Uh, it's been fun. I think being a paramedic is also what helped teach me, or yeah, teach me a way to build a home delivery service. Because being a paramedic, we go into, I've gone into thousands and thousands of homes, typically at people's worst times of their lives. Obviously, that's why they're calling 911. But what was interesting about it is allows me to go into every single person's home. We get welcomed in, we see how it's going on, we get to talk to them, learn about so many different people, which is quite cool. It's very unique. There's very few professions out there that allow that to happen. So doing all that with paramedicine allowed me, I think, to help build the confidence to one day decide I'm going to start door knocking. Because to just go out and door knock, you have to have the curiosity and the interest about the people that you're talking to or trying to talk to, and then also be able to gain their trust. And that was also kind of very cool about this, because in paramedicine, in 911 in general, whether you're a police, fire, EMS, but more so EMS, is you have to be able to gain that person's trust within, say, 30 seconds or less of meeting you. Yes, that person trusts you because they're calling 911. You already have that illusion of trust that the person has in you, because they're calling 911. They're saying, "Oh, we're getting the highest trained professionals in the business to come and help me through my worst times." But even still, like, if you were to walk into someone's home or walk onto a scene and your shirt's untucked, you look disheveled, you don't look like you not want to be there, your body language is just all off, your posture, you just do not, you're not radiating like, "Hey, trust me, like, hey, I'm here to help you and I'm going to do a good job." So that whole relationship between you and your patient, or you or the patient, the family, or whoever else is on that scene, all starts as soon as they see you. As soon as you walk up, it all starts at how you walk, your eye contact, the first words you say. Because not so much with younger folks, but when it comes to the older population, a lot of patients that are older are not typically they don't typically divulge exactly what's going wrong with them. Whether or not they feel like it's just not a problem, like it's just like it's insignificant, or they don't want to feel like they're bothering you, or whatever the case may be. So you have to start having their conversations, start chipping down their defensive walls, and start getting them to trust you, to open up, and then this way you can really figure out what is going on with that person, so then you can treat them, and you can help them out. And this all happens within 30 seconds, a minute at most. And once you lose it, if you fumble through, you're stuttering, saying you're not able to hold a conversation with them as you're thinking and taking in the knowledge of what's going on, that person is gonna start picking up on that, and they're gonna now start distancing them from you, even if they're not even realizing it. They're gonna start doing it unconsciously, and now it's gonna be harder for myself or EMS professionals to provide the best care they could to that patient. So when it comes to door knocking, or building a direct-to-consumer business, it's a lot about the same way. So if a person is going to come to you, it's a much easier way to get a sale because they may have Googled you, looked you up on a website, word of mouth. Like, there's most likely they've heard of you somehow before coming to you to do a transaction. But door knocking, that person does not know that we're coming whatsoever, does not know that I'm going to be knocking on their door, interrupting their life, and saying, hey, this is who I am. Which is actually kind of, it's fun, because it's the truest way to get reactions, it's the truest way to know that you articulate yourself, appropriately, accurately. So, like, when we walk up to a door, before you even see the person, we're already gathering information. We're going to walk up to that door, so if we're walking down the street to the house, you're going to do your scene size up. You're going to say, hey, I'm going to look at, do they have garden gnomes, the yard, mowed, nicely freshly mowed, or is it a little longer, is there a lot of trees, what type of cars do they drive, do you hear dogs barking, windows, shutters, the color of the house, like all these little fine details is going to tell you about that person that you're going to start having a conversation with. So you got to take all this into account. And you're doing this because when you start having that conversation with a person, you want to be able to start relating, start being able to have the ability to continue a conversation when you kind of hit obstacles, or like where you come up against a wall and you feel like there's nothing else to say. Like, you want to be able to say, oh man, hey, this is a beautiful color of your house, or hey, I really like your porch, or wow, this is a really nice yard. I love that tree. That's like a really awesome oak tree. It looks like it's been around for a long time. Like, just being able to just communicate and seamlessly transition your conversation. So when the conversation feels like it's going to hit a wall, you then just can pick up on that and then pivot, so that way you keep the conversation flowing. But what this is also doing is it's allowing the confidence and trust between you and this person that you've never met before to continue to build. Because what you're doing now is you're consistently complimenting them, or you're providing them positive affirmations that you are paying attention to their life. So that's just all within the scene size up. And then once you do that, it comes up to how you knock on the door, and how you stand, how you present yourself. Are you holding your head up? Are you staying straight? Like, your posture, eye contact. And then once that person's opened the door, they're gonna be. I do the same. So whenever someone knocks on my door, I'm always like, who is that? What's going on? Who's here? You're never like, oh, who is here? Like, it's always, you're always like kind of like defensive, like, who is bothering me? And it's just for whatever reason, we as humans, we just do that. It just is. So knowing that going into it, that almost every single person is going to have kind of like that defensive attitude to them, you need to be able to quickly disarm them, and then disarm their level of their wall that they have up, and then say, hey, this is, my name is Michael Ortman. I'm working with Ortman Farms. I'm here today because we have been building a direct farm-to-table delivery system, and we want to see how buying products directly from our farm can help improve your life. It may be an inconvenience because maybe you have to take one extra stop process and choose not to buy things at the local grocery store and then buy certain items directly from a farm. So you have to just have an opener. But you have to do this all understanding that you only got about 30 to 60 seconds at most to gain that person's attention. Because after that, once you lose it, you're done. Like, you're most likely not going to come back from it. The person's going to either be polite and say, sure, get you off the doorstep, or they're just going to say, I'm all set, thank you, goodbye. Or you may get fortunate when you do fumble and you struggle to get to what your objective, the person is going to be willing to stick around with your conversation because you're trying. But it all happens in that 30 to 60 seconds. And so it's an art form. It's something that you just gotta just do. Like, there's no way of really learning other than by doing it. So being a paramedic helped me before I even knew that I was going to become a door knocker as well, and help grow my business. It helped prepare me to do that, because trust and positive emotion is the most important thing when it comes to anything. When it comes to selling an item, when it comes to providing emergency care to somebody, it doesn't matter. It's all the same practice. You just got to execute it the same way, or the way you execute it is going to be a little different based off of how that person's going to react to you. So being a paramedic, I've been blessed with it, because it also, not only did it help me build the confidence to walk into people's lives and knock on doors and have conversations with thousands of people, young and, all over the age spectrum, and it helped me start learning and realizing that there is a disconnect. People want social interaction, especially the older we get. There's less and less social interaction sometimes in households. So the nice thing about what we've done as a home delivery service, after being a paramedic, is realizing that when we come, a side effect of our business is also being a positive person that the customer gets to talk to for 5, 10, 15 minutes, once a week or a couple times a month or whatever. So that was also very cool, and we're the point where the customers will start to look forward for us to coming. And the other thing it also allowed us to do, being a paramedic, is it showed me that, not because I was asking in the time of emergencies that, hey, worry about your food and trying to just sell my business. No, what I was doing is realizing, that the habits that people, how they eat, what they're buying in the grocery store, what they're doing, which is also attributing to their health or possible issues that they're having, and realizing that it's just a lot of what we as consumers do is because we've just been conditioned to it, and then it's so hard to break free from that. So it takes the consistent consumer education. It takes consistent reminding that we're there. It just takes so much. So part of the business that I learned from being a paramedic is that there is a lot of people want to try. A lot of people want to be better, want to be healthier. But because we're so conditioned to going to grocery stores, just buying, just doing what's easy, and then when you do what's easy, it's so hard to, it's so easy to keep falling back into your same old habits, where if you're trying to source better food or whatever the case is, it's just almost impossible, because when you walk in a grocery store, you got so many options, so on and so forth. So what being a paramedic has helped me is to learn that I need to provide a lot of. Our best marketing strategy is just consumer education in every direction. Whether or not it's through emails, or through texting, or through in person, through our app, it's just consistent consumer education to keep teaching people about what we do as farming, what we're doing, what we're providing. I'm not saying what we're doing is better, it's just a different product, because when we sell ground beef, or when I will be selling milk or dairy products, it's just going to be different, because we're not trying to take 1 pound of ground beef and then stretch it out to make more ground beef at a lower cost. We're providing a product, asking for charging a certain price, and the price may be higher because the product is different with its integrity. So we're not trying to, create 100 different products where they're all based off the same base core item. We're just trying to sell, one or two products that are high quality, that we believe anyways, to then sell to customers. So we just even say, hey, this is why it's better. Or not so much better, but this is why it's different. But yeah, so I still work as a paramedic. I keep going a few nights a week. Not so much during the summer months when it's super busy, but come in the fall, winter, early spring, we'll work a few nights, help keep my paramedic card. It's easier to stay practicing as a paramedic than it is to let it go and try to get it back. And then paramedicine, it's there's not many paramedics left, at least in the St. Lawrence County area. So it's fun. You go out, get to help some people, and come on home. but yeah, so door knocking. I'm glad I became a paramedic, or at least I started EMS as an EMT basic, and then came critical care, and then became a paramedic, and the years of doing that, I think, helped prepare me to to have the ability and the confidence to go out and kind of just knock on people's doors, open myself up to say no, be humble, just to consistently learn, and then just to keep doing it over and over and over again. Because when it comes to door knocking, it's just the power by numbers. It's just, if you knock on 100 doors, maybe you get 50% that had interest. Maybe you get 25% that say, yeah, sure, absolutely, come on back, we're ready to buy today. You'll get some no's. It's just all over the spectrum. And then every house to house is going to be completely different. So, you may walk to knock on one door, and they love you. Absolutely love you. They're like, yeah, we're all about it. Sign up. This is a great idea. We support you. We're with you through all your growing pains. And then the very next door, you're like, I'm not interested. Get out of here. Nope, thank you. Okay, I'm happy with the farm to Walmart. Like, it's crazy, the extremes. You never know. You legitimately never. It doesn't matter the neighborhood. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter the age. It doesn't matter if it's young or old. It doesn't truly matter. The only thing that truly matters for your success is how prepared you are, or how you're willing to be able to navigate every single conversation, every single person's interaction, and then keep the conversation going. So when it comes to door knocking, your success is directly tied to how well you can communicate. You can read a person's body language. You can do your homework, within those few minutes of walking up to the next door. That's where you get the success. Like, anybody that is a hard no, obviously there's no way you can try to sell them. But everybody else, there is a pathway to talk to them, to learn about them, and then most likely get a product that we're selling or our service into their home. Because the beautiful thing about what we've done for our business is everybody eats every day, and if you're buying ground beef or eggs or items at the grocery store currently, then all we'd be asking for you to do is at least give us a shot once to buy our product. So it's an easy ask to sell. It's just educating and convincing, and not so much convincing. It's just more educating the customer on what you're getting and what you're doing and what we're doing. Because in our part of the world, there's small farms that are doing some beef, some pork. They're selling like quarter, half, or whole animals to people. But what I'm doing is we're building a system, a delivery service, to be able to reach thousands of people from our farm consistently, and then be able to provide the opportunity for everybody that if they live alone, that they're an older person lives alone that doesn't eat much meat, or a large family of 8, to be able to consistently buy locally grown and raised products. And that's our goal. And to get there, I've found door knocking is the best way to get the customers and leads we need. So, alright guys, hope you enjoyed this short story, and I'll see you in the next one.